Hey everybody, we are going live here on Facebook in just a few moments. Let's give you a few seconds to take a sip of your coffee here in beautiful downtown Orlando. Good to have everybody. So we'll give you a second. No music intro today. We're just going to get down and dirty what's going on here in the markets, which by the way had a really good week. So hold on a second. Ah, yes. Okay, well, good morning, everybody. I am Lee Seiler, also known as the Stock Doctor. You can check out my website at stockdr.com. That's stockdoctor.com. And welcome to my webinar. Not webinar. I mean, just basically an update. Tomorrow night now, my Wednesday is the Hump Day Market Report. So you got to be sure to check that out tomorrow at 7 o'clock. And that will be more of a long format. We'll go about 30 minutes. We're taking questions. So by the way, you see the ticker here on the bottom. You can go ahead and ask your questions in advance by either emailing Nikki at stockdr.com or calling the office. Hey, I'd like to ask a question. And we can address it tomorrow night starting at 7 o'clock right here on Facebook Live. It's the Hump Day Market Update tomorrow. And today is just a blog, okay, video blog, and we're going to talk about a little bit what's going on. But, last week was somewhat of a historic week because the market's been a nightmare, to say the least. And, I've been saying the last 2 weeks, all right? I said it 2 weeks ago, and rewind the tape, that I thought the market has seen its lows on March 23rd. And I'll show you what's going on March 23rd and how the charts look, but I think it hit the low. But again, I want to make it very clear. People don't understand. I even see on CNBC, these so-called experts, so-called experts, they say, oh, the market's bottomed. It takes time for a bottom to form. You can hit a low, but it takes a time. Whether it's weeks or months, it takes time. And we are in the process. And part of that process is whether it's going to retest the lows. In this case, I don't know if it is. I don't think it is, okay? So let's just kind of see what we got going on here. Let's go to, I don't need that. What I do need is my charts. Okay, so let's just take a look at the S&P 500, which, by the way, the Dow and the S&P up 12% last week was the best week of the market since the 1920s, believe it or not. So this is a chart of the S&P 500. This down here, that is March 23rd. You see how much and I call that's a tail. And it really had a severe, exhaustive sell-off on March 23rd. This also coincided, believe it or not. Now, this is a technical pattern, but this was a MACD, which is a moving average convergence. This is real technical, convergence, divergence. But when these lines cross, that's a breakout. So 3 days later, it told us it was a short-term buy signal. So my point is, we had an exhaustive sell-off. We had big volume on the upside. I was saying, okay, we had this V shaped, and I said we need a W. I thought, okay, we may pull back down to right around here, maybe giving up a half of this move. Well, it didn't quite do that. It gave up about a third of that move, and then now it's rallied since then. So yesterday we had a sell-off. Today we're going to probably take back all what the market gave yesterday, 300 and change points. So again, I don't think that this is certainly not the lowest point we're going to be able to buy. I do believe we'll get opportunities back here at some point over the next week or so. We're approaching or actually starting earnings season basically today. JP Morgan reported, Wells Fargo reported. Both had lower than expected revenue and lower than expected earnings, but they have put more money in loan loss reserve. So that is something they're doing. It's smart. They think and they know there are going to be loan defaults. So they have to guarantee them. So the economy, obviously, I called a recession March 15th. I think we have the low. Doesn't mean I'm going to be right, but I think that we're going to be close to being right, okay? I think on the next pullback, you're probably safe. We've been buying some. We bought some things 2 weeks ago that were ecstatic that we bought them. And you have to kind of do that. And I think now is the time you buy on dips. Again, consult a financial advisor, consult somebody you trust. I wouldn't consult your neighbor next door. He probably doesn't know crap from Shinola. But discuss with somebody that you can trust, that knows the markets, that knows your suitability. Make sure before you enter an individual stock, especially because individual stocks create more risk than a mutual fund or an exchange traded fund. And why is that? A simple thing called single stock risk. If you own one stock in your portfolio, just one, you are hanging your hat on that one stock to move up. And I don't care how great that company is, because Apple, which I think is one of the greatest companies ever in the history of companies and has done me right, and I've made a ton of money on Apple personally and for clients. But if tomorrow morning there's an announcement and says, guess what, holding an iPhone to your ear causes brain tumors, what do you think would happen to the stock? And you only own one stock. So no matter how great that stock is, you want to own, if you're going to own stocks, you want to own a bunch of them individually. So have a portfolio of individual stocks. If you can't afford that, then buy mutual funds or exchange traded funds. Those are already pre-built, diversified portfolios, but they're different as well. Not every mutual fund or not every exchange traded fund family is built the same, has the same research, has the same analytics. So that being said, we help you do that, and we manage portfolios. That's what we do for a living. And believe it or not, we do have some people coming in the office, but we are taking video conferencing meetings. We are doing FaceTime meetings, and just, hey, guess what? How about this? How about a phone call? That's what we do, because we recently called all of our clients, and we wanted to talk to them. We want to make sure they're okay first and foremost. Make sure you're okay. Look, it looks like we know now the world is not coming to an end. It looks like the coronavirus is certainly not gone yet, but it seems to be a little more in control. And just keep in mind what I was saying before. That pendulum swings both ways. Look, the government and the media want you to panic. They want to be overcautious. I get it. I get it from the government standpoint. I think the media is irresponsible, except for those good friends of mine like Greg Wormuth and the rest of the guys at Fox, which I think they're awesome. They're friends of mine. But I think media can be irresponsible by causing panic. Here's what bothers me. They show, there's 21,000 cases of coronavirus in Florida. They just keep tacking on. They're not deducting the people that are cured from it. That makes people panic. Oh my God, now there's 25,000. People are looking at their ticker on their phone. Whatever. Look, just listen to the government. Listen to the governor. Keep your social distancing. Oh God, I hate that term. I hate that term. And once this is over, I will never use that term again. And by the way, I saw the movie Contagion that came out in 2011. Watch that movie. They came out with social distancing way before whoever came up with it here. And so, that being said, tomorrow night, 7 p.m., I'll be on, long format, do about a 30-minute webinar. It's the Hump Day Market Update. We're going to talk about earnings, talk about strategies, talk about a lot of different things. I encourage you to ask your questions via email to Nikki, call the office, and guess what? We are open for business, just like all the other local businesses in town that are, not all, the restaurants, most importantly, and certain stores. But if they're essential, they're open, so check them out. I want to give props to Cafe Murano doing their curbside service. I love that place. The Alley at Fuel Barbecue. The Alley's not open, but Fuel Barbecue. If you want some fantastic barbecue and you can get to Sanford, you live in Sanford or Lake Mary or Longwood, and it's an easy drive, check it out. The food is outstanding. I recommend the Burnt Ends. I also want to give just props to other local businesses that are trying to do the best they can to try and stay in business. Walk on Water in Lake Mary, a great apparel store. They have a web services, so if you want to go on their website, order, and I think they'll even open up for individualized type appointments. So guess what? You can get the store to yourself and do some shopping. So call Roxanne over at Walk on Water. But I encourage you to use local business and support them. As far as the service industry, I hope you guys are collecting your Social Security. I hear the stimulus checks, at least I hear the same thing you did. I saw a headline. I don't know anything different, but the headline says the stimulus check should be hitting your accounts as of yesterday or very soon. So that's good. Listen, I really appreciate you guys sharing this, joining me, but the markets are looking better. I told you the world wasn't coming to an end. Those people that called me on March 22nd, 23rd, should I sell everything? I told you, just relax. This soon will pass, all right? This was not the zombie apocalypse, okay? It was a man-made virus, came from China. I don't know, we'll see. Hey, I'm Lee Seiler, also known as the Stock Doctor. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you tomorrow night at 7 p.m.